This was way back on Friday. We can just ignore it. We can't ignore it, sorry. But Napoli destroy Juventus 5-1 just in time for Juve's big shareholder meeting this Wednesday, Gab.
This is the one where they're going to announce the new board, the new heads of the club, and Daniele stepping aside and whatever. They had won a whole bunch of games in a row. I'm just going to say this, Juve fans. All those 8 games you won in a row, I think you really only played well against Lazio. A lot of those other games were against smaller teams. Yeah. They're okay against Inter, I guess. It's not the results. It's the performances. It's how you play. Because otherwise, chickens come home to roost. They were blown away. Hats off to Napoli.
Milan are held at Lecce 2-2 after being 2-0 down in the first half, and it could have been worse. And they could have conceded third as well. Gab, you're right. They're still second, but it's not a good run at all.
No, not a good run. They looked tired. They looked spent. One of the few people who's actually working well is Giroud and Benacer, despite signing a new contract. They need to figure this out post-haste.
Lautaro Martinez fires Inter past Verona, and they stay third in Serie A. Gab, your thought on that game?
I think Inter were looking ahead to, obviously, the Super Cup in Riyadh. Riyadh, you're home for Super Cups. But Lautaro, I think, is in great form. Çalhanoğlu also in good form in the middle of the park for Inter. That's kind of all they needed. They mixed and matched, where Gagliardini started and whatnot, but Barella came on at the end. It's fine. You had to get the 3 points in. I would feel more comfortable from Inter's perspective if they could score more than one goal and not be in a situation where at the end you're like, oh, one mistake and we've dropped points again. But you know what? They're right up there. They're 1 point off second place. That's fine.
Roma beat Fiorentina 2-0 as Paulo Dybala turns on the style. I mean, what performance he had. Gab, you were skeptical, like me, about his signing in the summer. I think like a lot of people, to be fair.
And I am still skeptical about the length of his contract and the amount of money that they're paying him, but there's no question that...
Where would they be without him?
Well, you know what? He's only started, I think, 11 games this season. So, he was out. He missed a chunk of time to injury and stuff like that, which is one of the concerns that you have when you put all your eggs in the Dybala basket. But we saw the best Dybala. He linked up very well with Tammy Abraham, and it was an impressive win. Now, can Roma get into the top 4, which is the age-old question when, they still have Lazio ahead of him, they have Atalanta ahead of him. I think it's going to be a climb. I think, obviously, Mourinho's been hit by the injuries to Wijnaldum and whatever. But, by the way, another word on Mourinho, I'm talking about managers who like veteran players but then kind of change and play kids. He played kids. Zalewski's now a reality. Really Balve is another guy who was on the pitch. So, well done to Mourinho.
Atalanta destroys Salernitana 8-2. Gab, I thought they were supposed to be more defensive this season. 8 different goal scorers, by the way. And tell me about Rasmus Højlund.
Yeah, let's see. Big, tall, Scandinavian striker. Danish. Name starts with an H, ends in an ND, not as good as the other one, but they're very excited about him. Look, I think they still have a good scouting system. They've spent the money that they've earned. It took a while to get together. It was one of those games where every shot went in.
Yeah,
once you're 4-0 up against Salernitana, they said, we're not going to take our foot off the gas. Yeah. We're just going to keep going. So, well done them. I don't see them making top 4, but they're right up there with Lazio. They're not far off.
No,
I think,
definitely not.
It would be quite a second half to the season if they managed to achieve that again.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.